Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a gentle and beautiful girl whose mother had died when she was very young. Her father, believing she needed a woman's care, married again. But his new wife was proud and cruel, with two daughters just as vain and heartless as she was. After the wedding, the father's kindness faded, and he let his new wife rule the house. They treated his daughter terribly, forcing her to do all the chores, sleep on the hard floor by the fireplace, and cover her in ashes and cinders. Because of this, they mocked her and called her Cinderella. One day, the king announced a grand festival, a 3-day ball, to find a bride for his son, the prince. Invitations went to every noble family, including Cinderella's stepsisters. The stepsisters were thrilled. They spent days trying on gowns and jewels, ordering Cinderella to help them prepare. "You must brush my hair 100 times, one demanded. "And press my dress perfectly," sneered the other. When the night of the first ball arrived, the stepmother and stepsisters dressed in their finest clothes and left for the palace, laughing at Cinderella. Left alone and heartbroken, will Cinderella's tears bring any hope? A magical visitor is about to change everything. Watch part 2. Like and subscribe for the magic. As soon as they were gone, Cinderella sat by the dying fire and wept bitterly. "Why can't I go too? I've been good and kind, yet I'm treated like a servant." Suddenly, a soft glow filled the room. Before her appeared a beautiful fairy godmother, sparkling with light. "Do not cry, child. You shall go to the ball." "But how? I have nothing to wear and no way to get there." The fairy godmother smiled. "First, bring me a pumpkin from the garden." Cinderella fetched the largest pumpkin. With a wave of her wand, the fairy transformed it into a magnificent golden carriage. Then she turned 6 little mice into handsome white horses, a rat into a jolly coachman, and 6 lizards into footmen. Finally, she touched Cinderella's ragged clothes, turning them into a dazzling gown of silver and gold, embroidered with jewels. On her feet appeared the most delicate pair of glass slippers. But remember, the magic lasts only until midnight. At the stroke of 12, everything will return to as it was. You must leave before then. Cinderella promised and rode to the ball in wonder. What happens when Cinderella arrives at the palace and meets the prince? Will her dream last? Find out in part 3. Hit like if you're excited. When she entered the palace, everyone gasped at her beauty. The prince himself was enchanted. He danced with no one else all night, and Cinderella felt like she was in a dream. But as the clock began to strike midnight, she remembered the warning. She fled from the palace, running so fast that one glass slipper fell off her foot. The prince chased after her, but found only the slipper on the grand staircase. The next 2 nights, the same magic happened. Cinderella attended the ball, danced with the prince, and fled at midnight, losing her other slipper on the final night. The prince now has the glass slipper, but will he ever find the mysterious girl who wore it? The search begins in part 4. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The prince was desperately in love. He declared, "I will marry the maiden whose foot fits this glass slipper, no one else." He sent his servants across the kingdom to try the slipper on every young woman. When they reached Cinderella's house, the stepsisters tried desperately to force their feet into the tiny slipper. One even cut off her toe, and the other her heel, but blood poured out, and the slipper did not fit truly. Then the servants noticed Cinderella in the corner. Let her try. Will the slipper fit Cinderella and reveal her secret? Or will her cruel family stop her forever? The shocking truth in part 5. Like and comment below. The slipper slid onto her foot perfectly. The prince arrived soon after, recognized his true love, and took her away to the palace. They were married in a grand ceremony, and Cinderella forgave her stepfamily, but they were never invited to the castle again. And so Cinderella lived happily ever after with her prince, proving that kindness and courage are always rewarded. If this magical tale of Cinderella touched your heart, with its themes of hope, transformation, and justice, please like the video, subscribe for more classic fairy tales retold, and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you for watching.